You hear it all the time from executives, right? This proud declaration that they're rolling out AI across the business.
Yes, the big announcement.
The big announcement. But then you ask the slightly awkward follow-up question. So how does this actually show up on the balance sheet?
And that's usually where the conversation just stops.
It goes quiet. And that's really what we're talking about today. It's what we call AI theater. It's all for show if it doesn't have a measurable financial impact.
Exactly. And look, our mission for this deep dive is to get real about that. We're going to apply a simple 5-point sanity test because, I mean, especially in places where budgets are tight, there's just no luxury for these kinds of vanity projects.
No room for error. Okay, so let's dig in. Point one feels like the most fundamental. AI has to be a financial initiative first.
And a technology project second. Always.
So every single project needs a clear commercial reason to exist. A hypothesis, right? Are you reducing cost, increasing revenue, or lowering a specific measurable risk?
And if you can't answer that clearly, you just don't invest. But I think the where is what trips most people up. Everyone wants to go for the glamorous front-end use cases.
Right, the stuff the customer sees, the sexy applications.
But the source material we looked at makes a really powerful case that the ripest areas, the places to get reliable wins, are actually hidden away in the back office.
Wait, hold on. Finance and HR. Why would you start with the quote-unquote boring stuff?
Because it's full of rules-based tasks. I mean, it's work where a person is basically just following a script, and if this, then that logic.
Oh.
Think about it. Invoice processing, payroll, screening resumes. Automating that stuff delivers incredibly reliable, measurable value, and you free up your people to do actual strategic thinking.
That makes a lot of sense. And that stable foundation, that reliable value, it takes us right into point three, which is about scope. The advice is pretty clear here. Avoid those massive, grand, end-to-end AI programs.
Oh, they almost always fail. They just stumble under their own weight.
So instead, you focus on narrow processes. You find a point of friction, and you just remove it.
Absolutely. Think small, quick wins. We're talking about reducing manual data entry in just one workflow, or using a model to classify just one type of document.
Right.
A $5,000 proof of concept that returns $10,000 immediately. I mean, that is infinitely better than a $1 million program that never even launches. It builds credibility.
Credibility with the leadership, but also with the staff on the ground.
Exactly. And as you're building that credibility, you cannot let governance be an afterthought. That brings us to point four, the regulatory side of things.
Yeah, you can't just bolt on compliance at the end.
No, that's a recipe for disaster. You have existing law, data protection, labor law, and now you have new dedicated AI acts emerging.
So you have to be asking those tough questions about data, about bias, about transparency, right from the business case phase.
It has to inform the design from day one.
Okay, which brings us to the final point, and maybe the most important one, taking your people on the journey with you.
Oh, without a doubt. This is everything. Automation affects jobs, and your staff will resist if the only thing they hear is, rumors or some vague press release.
I can imagine.
Leaders have to be upfront, be honest about how roles will change, and you have to invest, really invest in reskilling. The projects that succeed are the ones where employees feel like they are co-authors of the change.
Not casualties of it.
Precisely.
So let's wrap this up. What this 5-point test really provides is a critical discipline for any leader. Right? It's about having the courage to say no to projects that are shiny but financially vague.
It really is. It forces you to focus on hard numbers. Start with the back office foundations, get small wins, and see your employees as partners. That's how you turn AI from theater into, substance.
From theater into substance. I like that. So if the true test of a successful AI strategy is both economic and human outcomes, this raises a really interesting question I want to leave with you, the listener. How can we measure the creation of new forms of decent work and real career growth just as effectively as we measure cost reduction?